Welcome to the Cinefied Podcast, the show where we enlighten you on what film to watch next by discussing the latest projects brought either to the silver screen or the comfort of your home. I'm your host, Connor, and join with me are fellow members of the Cinefied team, Joe, Josh, and Kyle. Today we are discussing the new Darren Aronofsky thriller, Caught Stealing, starring Austin Butler, Zoe Kravitz, Matt Smith, Liev Schreiber, Vincent D'Onofrio, and Regina King. Written by Powers creator and author of the book of the same name, Charlie Huston. The summary goes, burnt out ex-baseball player Hank Thompson unexpectedly finds himself embroiled in a dangerous struggle for survival amongst the criminal underbelly of 1990s New York City, forced to navigate a treacherous underworld he never imagined. Joe wrote the review for the site, and he had this to say.
Perhaps the most unlikely candidate in the Darren Aronofsky oeuvre, Caught Stealing is a scrappy, loud, neo-noir flick that, although it may not be a home run, it's good enough to reach third on a wild pitch.
All right, thank you, Joe. So we'll just jump into spoiler-free reviews. Let's just start with ratings first, and then near the end, we'll come back and see if we still believe what we said here. I personally would give it a full popcorn. I will go into my feelings, but first, I just want to go through the ratings. Kyle, what would you give it on a popcorn scale?
Half.
Half. And Josh?
Full. I really liked it.
Full. And Joe?
Full.
All right. So, Joe, you've read the book. So I am curious because I've not read the book. I don't believe any of us besides you have read the book. How does this translate from page to screen? Does it do a proper job?
Yeah, it's been a while since I read the book. In fact, I looked back on Goodreads. It looks like I read it 5 years ago, and I gave it 4 stars. I did not leave a little review on it. But as I was watching the movie, I was thinking back to the book, and I believe the movie did properly capture all of the high points, especially with all of the main characters. I got to be honest, I don't remember Regina King. She plays a detective. I don't remember the detective being as grand in scope with the characters as it was in the movie. It very well could have been they got word they got Regina King and they boosted that character up a little bit. But really, all of the main high points of the novel are indeed captured and shown in the movie. His backstory, particularly the ending, everything that has to do with the cat, those are all in the novels. Huston did write, I think, 2 more novels. I read the follow-up book that he wrote to this. It's called 6 Bad Things. And I'm sure we might talk about just how some of Caught Stealing really is dark. Well, 6 Bad Things gets really, really dark at point where I even almost abandoned reading it, but I did. I kept through the whole thing. I think Caught Stealing is a better story, both in the book and how it was adapted into the film.
Okay. Yeah, that's good to hear because you never know with book adaptations, but this did have the author behind the page. So kind of like, in my opinion, one of the best book to screen adaptations is Perks of Being a Wallflower, and I think that's because you had the author behind the script. So just another question, and then we'll dive into more of what we actually thought about the film. Austin Butler, he's been getting a lot of slack over the years since his Elvis performance, and I just want to know, should we just accept that this is how his voice is now? Because it's just, it feels like this is just who he is.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me at all. My wife and I were actually talking about, is he just a pretty boy face or is he a good actor? And I think we both agreed he is a good actor. He really was impressive as Elvis. He has a really good resume that he has already built up. I mean, even Masters in the Air, which fizzled out near the end, really was a good showcase, I think, for him as an actor. Caught Stealing is just another good movie that he's going to be able to look back and have a really good check mark next to.
All right. So I want to start with Kyle. Kyle, if you want to kind of dive into your thoughts, you can say your negatives. I assume your positives are a smaller list. So if you want to jump in with your positives first, it's up to you. But then we'll just kind of talk about them.
Right. I mean, honestly, I don't have much to say about this, like overly positive or overly negative. The movie was fine. to me. Like by the end, it was a fine movie. Like the performances are solid. The story's interesting enough. There's some things that felt like odd or unnecessary, or not really sure why they were like included. Like honestly, the like the Giants stuff, like I don't know that it needed to go that hard on it, but yeah, I mean overall it was fine. It's like it's not a movie that like you are going to waste your time with necessarily, but not like, to me, like not one that you're going to remember much like as time goes on. I was surprised that Darren Aronofsky directed this, which I appreciate, like a director like doing something different. It's not just the same thing or same like genre and whatnot all the time. But this felt like, to me, like it felt like a movie that his production company Protozoa like was gonna do, and they needed a director, and so he hopped in. But like Austin Butler's fine in it. He's good. Like I said, the performances are fine. It's just not a movie that did much for me, honestly.
All right, thanks, Kyle. I'll go ahead and step in. So I personally, going on one of the things you said, Kyle, I did personally like the Giants element because that gives you even more. I feel like it's more he grew up and he was like this prodigy in high school and he fucked it up. And he essentially got in this accident, and it seems like people in his life didn't let his responsibility, like it didn't let it fall on him. Like his mom was very much like, you were going to be a Giant. Like you should still believe that you would be there at this time. And I feel like it's just kind of like he was still kind of, because he was always going to be a Giant in his mind, and his mom kind of led him on to that. And he just, I don't know. I feel like I'm going on a little tangent here that's going nowhere. So I apologize. But I do think that the Giants definitely leads into his mom and his relationship, because that seems to be how they bond after the accident, is that they have the relationship of, are the Giants going to make the World Series? And everything in his life falls on his injury, and it seems like he's not able to live past that injury because like he's drinking himself, not to death, but he's drinking himself every night. He's drinking in the morning, and I do think you see him break. I don't want to dive into the spoiler yet, but you do see definitely him where, if things didn't go the way the movie went and things went off the rails, he would have most likely drank himself to death because he could not lose him. He had to pretty much disassociate himself from the real world, I think, because of his injury, and he keeps having those nightmares over and over and over. So I do think the baseball element did play a big role. Do you have more like smooth things to say about this?
I was just saying really quick, right? All of the baseball elements are in the novel. His love for the Giants, the relationship that he has with his mother, the fact that he was a baseball phenom, all of that is in the novel. So Houston did translate all of that properly. And then just really quick, Josh, before you jump in, right? Aronofsky, and we'll talk about, Darren and his film style later, right? He always has that repetitive nature, the flashback, the images as to why and what makes a character. And so building in the accident that he had that's resulting in the accident in his life aligns not only with the book, but with Aronofsky's style. But now, Josh, please.
Yeah, Black Swan was his ballet movie. This is his baseball movie. And things go haywire off that. I saw an interview today where Aronofsky said the idea was, what would happen just to make a real straight genre film and have fun with it? I think that's what he did, and I had fun with it. Real quick, I was in an empty theater, and right before the start, two women walked up and sat right next to me in a big empty theater. They could have sat anywhere in the whole place, but they sat down right there. And so I was a little annoyed. And then the Long Walk trailer came on, and it was like the red band. It was real grisly. And I heard them both go, nope, nope. And then I'm going, do you know what kind of movie you're about to watch? Like, you're in an Aronofsky movie. Have you seen Requiem for a Dream? So I'm sitting next to two kind of uptight people that are here to see Austin Butler shirtless, I think. And the fact that I was in an RPX, it was really loud. The sound in my RPX is like cranked up to 12. I really had fun with it. I liked how kind of brassy and brash and loud it was. And compared to the last movie we talked about here, Eeny Meeny, this felt like a filmmaker making a movie rather than someone kind of trying to figure out how to do it the first time. This felt like someone who really knew what they were doing, and I felt the craft throughout it. Some of the shots were incredible, and I thought the acting was almost great all around. I really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun.
But going into my opinion of the movie, I really enjoyed it. I do think that this is definitely his most mainstream film that he's done by far. I think it's his most rewatchable film to me. I think that it's just a slick crime caper. I think the performances here are fantastic. I think the characters are a lot of fun, like Liev Schreiber, Vincent D'Onofrio's characters.
I didn't know who they were. I couldn't recognize them through the...
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I like instantly recognized Vincent D'Onofrio.
Oh, really?
Oh, I recognized Liev.
I did too.
Yeah,
I
was
got to
staring
Liev
at
eventually. I didn't know it was D'Onofrio until I got home and looked it up.
No.
Well,
yeah, I thought they were fantastic. I unfortunately, and I apologize, I don't know how to pronounce the two actors that played the two goons of the Russian mafia. But I thought they were really fun and kind of manic, especially the one guy that just beat the living.
Yeah,
just beat the living hell out of Austin. But I have to give big kudos to this cat actor. I mean, it's like it was. Kyle, you're shaking your head. Do you have a problem with this cat actor?
No, I don't understand everyone's like love and need to see animals in movies and
man,
have like a bunch of little edible moments, but I fully
would you have rather it be a
CGI
minority? A CGI cat?
For sure no.
Yeah.
I just knew someone
instead.
No, I for sure would not rather that. I'm in the minority on the animals thing, the pet love.
I thought when the cat came out with the cast on, I gasped, and that was a moment where like I was militarized. I was John Wick. I was like, all right, let's fuck these people up. How dare you hurt the cat?
But yeah, I thought that animal did a great job considering, they don't. I mean, it amazes me anytime you train an animal to.
That was the cat from Pet Sematary, the 2019.
Was it?
Yep.
Oh shoot!
No
and that's a terrible movie, but that cat did good. No, that's cool. Yeah. No.
The cat has a SAG card.
Did you see the? And I apologize to the cat. I don't remember your name, sir. But them riding onto the red carpet in a little like remote control car. So
nice. I didn't see that.
Yeah, that was cute. But yeah, I think that's the film had the right amount of violence. I think it kept like some of the grit that you'd expect from a director like Aronofsky, but it's not his scripts. So, but you definitely like I feel like the most clear, like it felt like his style was when Bad Bunny is having his goons start to pick out the staples. That felt very much like that is, it makes you
was that
super.
Bad Bunny?
Yeah,
it was bad. Wow.
Yes.
Okay. Did not know that.
That's Colorado.
From Happy Gilmore too.
Didn't watch that either.
Bullet Train. Yeah.
Bullet Train. Yeah.
He was actually really funny in Happy Gilmore too. I think he was the best part of that movie.
He was the best part. Yeah. No, by far. I mean, when you have, I think he and, I mean, I do. There's a little thing about that movie. I think that he is one of the few people in that film that is trying. Him and Christopher McDonald are the two that I think are trying in that movie. So, but all right, Josh, if you want to kind of say your thoughts on the film, if you have any gripes or any positives beyond what we've said.
I was surprised that I laughed. I thought this was the funniest Aronofsky movie I've ever seen. I laughed several times, and again, the last movie we watched was supposed to be funny, and I think I laughed once.
You didn't laugh at the hilarious comedy Requiem for a Dream?
No.
Oh, okay. No. My bad.
Was I supposed to? Shit. Was it a really, really dark comedy? Like a really, really dark?
That's just how I saw it, I guess.
I had a friend who went to go see Forrest Gump and convinced himself it was a comedy. So the whole movie, when Forrest Gump was acting the way Tom Hanks was acting the way he was, my friend was in stitches. Funny story, but I thought it was surprisingly funny. The only thing that didn't really, I mean, no spoilers yet, but if you kind of think of how the character started to where they finished, did they have any real growth at all? Probably not. Do I really care? Not so much. I thought Regina Hall, I thought that was kind of a confusing performance to me. I get that she's supposed to be an unreliable narrator, but her performance confused me a little bit. That was the only thing that I had minor issues with. It didn't take me out. Otherwise, man, Matt Smith was a blast. I
wish he was in it more.
With it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked it all around. Cat was great.
All right, Joe, let's go with you. And then after that, we'll stick with you and we can dive into spoilers.
Really, the only thing I want to add is the feel, the tone that was felt throughout this entire movie. You know what, Josh, there were some funny parts. There were some lighter parts. You know, the movie's definitely quick. There is a slight hipness to the style. But aside from that, I really thought this movie had a persuasive sense of foreboding and unease throughout the entire movie. And Aronofsky's great at doing this, at making you feel uncomfortable, right? You know that as soon as the Russians start beating up Hank in that first scene, you know things are not going to go well for Hank for the rest of the movie. And you are constantly feeling that. And that's really one of the instances, or one of the ways that I think has propelled this movie as to being a little bit more than just a typical neo-noir or action thriller movie.
All right, and from there we will start going into spoilers. So as of right now, I think we're all relatively mixed to positive. So this film, unfortunately, as from someone that really enjoyed the film, it's not doing well at the box office, which I did predict was going to occur. This, along with The Roses, it's not a good Labor Day weekend for the box office. So throughout opening week, if you're listening to this, or throughout its theatrical run, go and support the film. I think it's a good caper. All right, so Joe, let's stick with you. I want to kind of go into there's a lot of twists and turns in this movie, and one of them that Trevor, who was supposed to be on with us tonight, he was unable to. He wanted to bring up that when Yvonne died, that came as kind of like a sudden shock and kind of like was a negative to him. He didn't elaborate more, but would you, Joe, and then we'll go up the line, would you say that was one of like a shock to you, or was that in the book and you fully expected it?
Yeah, to my knowledge, she does die in the book. I don't recall if it's the exact way that it's shown in the movie. But even if I didn't read the book, I think that her death would have been something that should have been expected with the way that the plot was going. Hank really is the only survivor of this story. And so everybody around him needed to die. I thought it was funny that the only person that didn't die was the one psycho Russian with the huge birthmark or tattoo on his head. Everybody else dies, and I think that is just right. That's just part of the genre. Right? So right, a film noir movie is one of the main themes of that genre is all of outside elements coming together and working against the main character. Neo-noir, of course, is just the newer version, of this style. But it still maintains the elements of that genre. All these pervasive elements coming from the outside, pushing into the character and how does the character react. In this movie, the character runs. And he runs and he runs while all this destruction happens around him, and he's powerless to stop any of the destruction. I think if Zoe Kravitz's character Yvonne lived, I think that would have been a disservice to the plot overall and to the genre.
All right. Thanks, Joe. Josh, what about you? Did that moment in particular shock you, or do you agree with Joe?
It did shock me. I felt like it came fairly early. I agree with everything Joe said about the genre trappings. If you look at the poster, spoilers in the poster, it's just him and the cat. But the fact that Zoe Kravitz is kind of a name, it shocked me a little bit when she went out that early, and I thought they had really great chemistry together. If you look at any of the interviews they're doing, it's like Austin Butler and Zoe Kravitz are frontline doing all the interviews. So for her to go out so early was shocking, but that made you go, oh shit, there are stakes here.
Yeah, and the interview thing you brought up is to pull it all the way back around in full circle to Happy Gilmore too. Julie Bowen and Adam Sandler have been doing.
Really?
They were the main headliners on interviews.
She goes out in like 3 minutes.
Exactly. And so when she dies, that's because everybody, that was the big topic was like, with interviews, like, oh, we thought that, like, not to be crass to you, Sandler, but we thought you would recast her and like put like Sydney Sweeney in her spot or something. And he's like, no, I would never do that. It's because you killed her in the first 5 minutes. But sorry, spoiler, Kyle. But
I was gonna watch it anyway.
Kyle's devastated.
Yeah, Julie Bowen doesn't make it out. She is in flashbacks though throughout the movie. All right, Kyle, and we'll go with you on the same question, but you can also speak about any other twists and turns that you disliked or enjoyed.
So I saw this last night. Josh, you saw it earlier today, right? But I don't remember her going out. Like, I don't feel like it was that early. Like, I think it was maybe, what do you guys think? Like the 45-minute mark?
No, it wasn't early at all. It was
the end of the first act, I think, is what.
But so like the movie's like what, an hour and 50 minutes or something?
Yeah, it's just around 2 hours.
Yeah. Okay. So I mean, I don't know. I was shocked that they killed her. But it worked for me. Like, I wasn't mad about it. I'll say the twist I somehow didn't see coming was the fact that the like Liev Schreiber and Vincent D'Onofrio's characters were the ones that did it. I thought that moment in the car with the gun lighter was pretty good. I feel like we probably all saw it coming that he would what's Austin Butler's character's name in this? Hank, that's right. Thank you. That Hank was gonna like use the Hebrews or whatever against the Russians and Regina King's character, the detective. Which I agree with Josh. I was totally thrown off by like what like her character was supposed to be, or like the way she played her. Like, it was a little odd. That was one of the other major twists that caught me off guard, was that like it made sense, like it didn't surprise me necessarily, like as a, you know, like a narrative element, but the fact that she was like a bad guy, like working for the Russians, because she has this it's like she has this debt, right? So she's indebted to them.
She also has that dream, right?
Yeah.
Retiring in Mexico, and
Right.
at first, right when you hear that, you think, "Oh, what a nice dream," but then it sinks in. It's like, wait a minute, how's a New York City detective going to be able to afford this?
Yeah, absolutely.
When she said "wait for backup," we're going to wait for backup, that kind of made me go.
Again,
Yeah, and then
foreboding through the entire movie. When you heard that, you knew it wasn't a good,
right.
good wait.
I personally didn't see it coming with Regina King's character, but I did think, because I had seen just the bare bones previews for it, and I knew that like the part that I saw over and over was Liev Schreiber and Vincent D'Onofrio eating matzo ball soup with Austin Butler.
Nice.
And so I'm like, that hasn't happened yet. So like the backup can't be that great. So I thought Regina King was going to get killed. Like, because she's like eating a cookie. I thought she was just going to get killed while she's eating a cookie and just be like, you're done.
The black and white cookie, man.
Yeah.
What's funny is at my last job, we brought on a contractor that was an Italian restaurant. And at the end of showing us all the fancy things they did, they all brought out black and white cookies. And everybody oohed and awed. So I had that personal experience of when she was doing that with the thing. I was like, oh, that is like a whole Italian, New York, big sacred thing.
I guess I need to have a legit black and white cookie, because I think I've only had like Kroger branded ones. And
I think you got to go to New
dry.
York.
So.
Yeah. I was gonna say, she was like talking about that. I was like, it's a cookie.
It's a thing. It's a thing in New York City.
It's just like, do you want some? It's like, Hank.
Yeah,
trying to share. Maybe the other side of the cookie was poisoned or something. So, all right. Is there anything else, Kyle, that caught you off guard? For me personally, diving into, and you guys can agree or disagree, I did not expect him. I didn't know how he was going to get out of it in the end. So jumping all the way to the end of the film, I didn't expect him to put his hair in a mohawk and pretend to be Matt Smith.
That was good.
Yeah, I like
circular storytelling. Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
I love the car crash.
Doesn't that come? It kind of comes back full circle, like right there at the end, what you're talking about, Connor, because isn't it like right at the beginning of the movie when he's like trying to get into his apartment, when you actually meet Matt Smith's character, that he makes some sort of joke or something about his character or his voice or something, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's like, oi, or something like that. So he I don't know, I do think that maybe it's the Houston's kind of like thing about how I'm reading into it too much, but how the security is not the greatest at airports. It's like he looks nothing like Matt Smith. He just has a mohawk. So,
well, maybe in like you got to remember it's 98. So this is pre-01. This is pre 9/11.
And speaking of that, I thought they did a great job capturing 1998 New York. I thought
Agreed.
Great.
Agreed.
Did
you catch the Kim's video?
No.
I did.
I wanted to put that in my review, and I totally forgot. It wasn't until later that it hit me.
Supposedly, Aronofsky put pie stickers in the background of the movie all over because he was promoting the movie in '98 in New York. So
that's pretty cool. I didn't catch that part, but I did see the Kim's video thing. Ironically, though, I was like, I don't know why I know that, but that stands out to me.
Nice.
Yeah, well, that was one of the hot video rental spots in New York City. It was just a small regional chain. I forget, there was 4 or 5 of them, but that was the video store where you go in and you want to talk to the workers there and to get their opinion, and to, you're not going in there to rent Jurassic Park, you're going in there to rent pie or something like that, right? And so it would have been the New York style version of of Quentin Tarantino and Roger Avery, with their video archives. store or whatever. That you go in there and you're talking to people, about movies, and you're enjoying movies, and you're trying to find out new weird things. You're watching John Waters movies. You're not watching
Nice.
Yeah.
Whatever.
As a Maryland guy, I appreciate the John Waters reference.
Right, well, I'm trying to think of something weird, and really you can't get much weirder than John Waters. So it was cool seeing the Kim's video. I came one I actually applauded, wasn't in the theater.
So I know people when they see animals in movies like Good Boy that's coming out in this film. I mean, we even spoke about how the cat did get hurt. Did Joe, having read the book, you knew the cat would make it out, unless he didn't in the book?
Oh no, he does, and he does get hurt, and they do hide the key in his cast or in the wrappings. That's in the book.
Nice. All right.
I thought that was a cool thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did like that, because I was like, where the hell is this key?
When he broke it, I kept going, why did he do that?
Yeah. But I did. Josh or Kyle, did you at all think that with this being an Aronofsky film that it was possible the cat was going to die?
No, I didn't think that the cat was going to die. But it wasn't necessarily a thing that I was thinking about during the movie. It was like, oh my God, is this cat going to die, or anything like that? So I just, I guess it does a really good job at making the cat a character. You just kind of, you accept it, you're with it.
Josh, did you have anything to add, or you good?
I already said I'm Team Cat. I was all for it. I didn't know. When the cat came out injured, I kind of went, they're not going to do anything else, but that was shocking enough to me. Its little paw on cast.
Yeah. So just kind of breaking down bits of the film, because it's been kind of jumping around. After he basically he gets the shit kicked out of him, he loses a kidney. He then he is a bartender, which is established at the beginning, or at least he assists at the bar, because he never goes back to the bartender thing, but he knows the owner. And then he has a drunken bender after finding a key, and basically goes to a bar. And then from there, everything just kind of goes crazy, because people were after him for this key. So did you, like, when it came to this whole... I guess the real question is, someone that saw the trailer, that saw the commercials, I was aware of, because Joe, when we were speaking briefly through text about it, you were saying that this, from promotional standpoint, looked like they were making it out to be much more of an action type film than what the book was, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
And do you think that the film ended up being more of an action than the book, or was it just depicted that way to try to get audiences in the theaters?
No, I think there's a fair amount of action in the book. But I mean, yes, absolutely. I think with the promotional, they wanted to sell this as a fun thriller, as an action-packed thriller, to wind down the summer with, sneaking in that it's a Darren Aronofsky movie. They didn't, say, from the director of Mother, go see Caught Stealing. But yeah, no, the book really does have a fast kinetic energy to the story. And I feel a lot of that, was brought over into the movie. There's a lot of running, maybe even, a ridiculous in that. You're thinking, you got that many stitches in your side. You're really going to run that fast?
A little bit.
I guess, adrenaline does, fun things to the body.
I don't know if you guys have ever seen, the energy that this film kind of pulled out reminded me of this movie called Premium Rush with Joseph Gordon-Levitt. It's just, it's not at all the same movie whatsoever, but it's just bad guy trying to chase down someone that has something that the bad guy wants. That's basically it. And it's incredibly fast paced. And that's just kind of, and it also, I don't know if it takes place in New York, but it takes place in one of the big cities. So it kind of had that vibe. So But the reason why I brought up the advertisements is because I would never have suspected that it was a storage unit key. I would have just been like, it obviously looks like a key, lock key, but I wouldn't have been like, oh, it's a storage unit key. I wouldn't have known, oh, there's going to be $4 million in the storage unit.
I like the welcome to Narnia joke.
But that again, like every bit of Matt Smith in this film is in the trailer, and that's kind of like. That's kind of my issue is that like you know Matt Smith doesn't just disappear, like he's coming back. You know that he's going to get hit in the face with a baseball bat. That's in the trailer. You know he's going to take him to the storage unit. It's going to have to close. He's going to open it, and then he's going to go and he's going to be like, "You're fucked," and like points the gun at him, and then they fight. And like that's the extent of what you see of Matt Smith. But it's just like, yeah, of course. And you see him shooting the Uzi up in the air. So, right. I mean, that's a mass majority of Matt Smith's run in this film. And I love his character in this, but I do think that takes away a lot of the surprises with his character, because a lot of it is like, what is this key? What's the key supposed to be? Why does the mafia want it? Why does the Hebrew gangster type characters want it? Like,
there was a line early on that it led to a comically large sum of money or something like that, and I just I heard that and I went, all right, it's a money stash somewhere. Also, I kind of have my trailer philosophy now is I kind of see it once and I Men in Black myself, and then I go in or out, and everything that I've seen in the trailer goes away. And I saw the trailer once and I went, looks great. Looks like a Guy Ritchie movie. Can't believe it's Aronofsky. Can't wait to see it.
Okay, finally someone else said. Okay, so like when I was watching this movie, and it's like towards the beginning of the movie, and you kind of are getting a vibe for what it was. I was like, oh my god, Aronofsky wants to make a Guy Ritchie movie.
Totally.
Like, so I'm glad you brought that up, because it totally does have that, like, I hate to use this word, but it totally has that vibe. And Connor, I think with the Matt Smith stuff, like, so maybe I'm the only one on here that had this reaction, but like, I thought it was a bad trailer. Like, I was very confused by the trailer, and even more so when it said it was an Aronofsky film at the end. But I think it was just because I couldn't tell what the film was trying to do just based on the trailer. Like, I didn't know what it was going to be, or, you know, what it had going for it. But the movie is definitely better than the trailer.
It's a rocky trailer, but but I do think, I don't know if you guys, when you put in an older media, like a DVD or a Blu-ray from however long ago, do you ever watch the trailers there at the jump, or do you skip to the home menu? Because if you watch,
it depends.
If you watch the trailers, like from several years ago, it's crazy how like choppy they are. Like, it's like we get so accustomed to how trailers are, like that it's just like, it's so crazy when you go back and you watch something, you're like, how is this how we were advertising? Because for the longest time we had that announcer dude, you know, like in a world, so and then you had like chop, and it's just, I do think that I could see like what this editor was doing. Like, he's just like, we have two hot people, let's shirtless Austin Butler in a scene. It's like underwear Zoe Kravitz. It's like, now we got gunshots running. It's like drone shot. You know, we got all kinds of like different, and you know, guns and Narnia, Matt Smith. It's like, you know, it's just, I get what was going for it. Obviously it didn't work. And that's my issue. If it would have worked and it would have generated,
making money right now,
it would be making money. And I think that by doing what they did, I think that they spoil, like, what I think that I really, really, really like this film. I feel like I would have loved this film if those surprises were there. And I didn't know Matt Smith was going to come back. And I didn't know about like you said, the money was hinted at. And I did catch that with Regina King saying that. But as far as like where the money is and everything, and the betrayal of Matt Smith, like trying to pull one over on Austin Butler, I wouldn't have saw that coming without the trailer.
Well, how many trailers did they cut for this? 2 or 3?
I just saw
I
the
only
first
saw-
one, I think.
Okay, I was gonna say I only saw the first one, but I was shaking my head along with Josh when he's like, with trailers anymore, I kind of like watch it once, I'm in or I'm out, whatever, and then Men in Black yourself.
Yeah.
Because I didn't remember that Matt Smith was going to come back. I mean, I figured he would come back, obviously, right? It's Matt Smith. You're not just going to have him in or at least you would hope you wouldn't only have him in the opening. But I think it is interesting that what you were getting at, Connor, it's kind of like you could almost say that Matt Smith had one of the better roles or like memorable characters in the movie, and he has such a short time span in the movie, and he does more than what he can with it. He's so good in it.
Yeah, yes,
Totally.
Yeah, and I like that you do believe that Matt Smith has been pulling one over on Austin Butler's Hank the entire time. I know he's just like thinking that he was trying to run away, and he's like, "You left for your dad." He basically saying like that his dad's not dead. He's like, "He is." Like pulls down his left tattoo. I'm like, oh, I did not. I mean, it makes sense that Matt Smith would die from blunt force trauma because he got hit pretty badly twice.
So, wait, he's like, "You got to drive. I can't. I've got like double vision."
Yeah, but yeah, I think if I had to really like depict my feelings when it came to how I felt about these characters, because there's not a ton of characters, so I can really kind of go into like who I enjoyed the most on screen, and I think that Butler, obviously he's the main character, and I think he's a fantastic lead. I don't know, Kyle, did you agree? You kind of, I don't know if you were sighing.
No, sorry. I just remembered isn't Griffin Dunn's in this movie,
yes,
right? Like
he
he's the bar owner, which I thought that was such a cool choice for him, for him to be that in this movie and in that character. That was cool. Sorry. I just remembered that.
No, that's what I'm leading to. It's just that some of these characters, like they have a cool. They when they appear on screen, you go, "Oh, that's cool," but some of them, unfortunately, just don't have enough. Like I think that
the Jewish grandmother was my unsung hero of the movie.
Yeah, well, I that's it. I keep looping back around to the dumb trailer, but yeah, that's the whole matzo ball soup thing. They cut the trailer where she's like impatiently waiting for him to eat it, and he eats it, and she's like, But they cut that out of the movie. Instead, they went with the girls ogling over Austin Butler and be like, go set the table.
I mean, from a marketing standpoint, that makes sense.
Yeah, but I personally, Austin Butler, I wish Zoe Kravitz was in this more. I thought, like, as Joe, I believe you were talking about their chemistry. I think their chemistry is outstanding in their bit of time they have together. I wish that we would have had more. I think that definitely D'Onofrio and Liev Schreiber, I think they're just fun bad guys in this.
Yeah.
Intimidating.
Yes.
They're intimidating, but they definitely don't seem like the most menacing. Like they seem, that's the thing that makes them menacing, is that they seem very just like gentle, kind of like, aside, like you see them like burst out like punching the guy, but what were you saying, Josh?
Bad pun, go ahead.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, they honor Shabbat's and
I love that detail. I love it.
So here's some geek trivia, right? So Vincent D'Onofrio, of course, plays Kingpin in the Daredevil series, but then Liev Schreiber voiced the Kingpin in the Spider-Man Spider-Verse movie.
And big New York centric stuff too. So. I mean, I'm thinking about if Liev Schreiber and Vincent D'Onofrio were coming at me, that would be intimidating as hell. So even with the the get up, I don't know, I bought it. I felt like he might end up hanging out with them until the lighter.
I know. Totally. I think that was like the most upsetting part.
Yeah,
of that. I don't know. Like,
agree. I was like, I love this for him. He's got, he found his people. He's not the right place, but hey, whatever. Yeah. That was upsetting. That was a gut punch.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Kyle, I believe you said earlier that you didn't expect the, or maybe someone else did, about the Hebrews murdering Zoe.
Yeah, that was me. Yeah,
and I didn't expect that either, because I was just like, oh, like they're legitimately going to just let him go. Like they're like,
Yeah.
we'll give you 100,000, maybe more. You know?
Yeah, I was like, wow, that's nice of them.
Yeah, I
know.
Like, this is, you know, I was on board with this, and I was like, okay, this is the ending. Like, you know,
Same.
we're like 10, 15 minutes away from the ending. I'm loving this for Hank right now. Like,
Same.
poor guy lost a kidney, can't drink anymore, although probably good that he can't. And yeah, like he's been through hell.
Yeah, no, for real. Yeah, yeah, definitely. I do think that, I don't know, going back to how I didn't find Leave and Vincent like super menacing is when we see them punch the guy, but and that kind of makes you go, but he was already running from them before you see him punch the guy that like was confronting him about like running into him on the bike path or whatever. But the reason why Butler is running away from D'Onofrio and Shriver is because of what he's been hearing, that these guys
Scary
are
monsters.
the bad guys, scary monsters.
Yeah.
But you don't really see them killing anybody like on screen until you know the
club scene.
The club scene. Thank you. So then you're like, are these guys actually as bad as what's been said? So that kind of put doubt into my mind that they were the ones that killed Zoe. And I think that honestly, I don't know, but because we didn't get that film, but I think if he would have not ran from them, I think that they would have basically just jumped to, I mean, I don't know. Did you think that if he would have not run, this is obviously a different story, but if he would not have run, do you think they would have like let him live in the end? Or do you think everything that happened had to happen for them to make the choice of,
I
we're
think
going to
they
let
were
you live?
legitimately scary fuckers.
Yeah. Yep. So, but so I think the last thing I have about the film itself is I did think that when Bad Bunny's character died, I didn't expect it, because I did think, I'm like, this guy is crazy, and they keep saying like, don't they say though that, or were they saying that the guy with the face like the birthmark can't kill someone? They said someone's not capable of killing, but
It was Bad Bunny.
It was Bad Bunny. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
Colorado or whatever.
But he had to have been capable of killing, because otherwise she wouldn't have killed him.
But that also could have just been internal
Bullshit.
rising.
Yeah.
Yeah, bullshit. Yeah.
Okay. So, but that caught me off guard. The massacre that occurs in the bar. So, and then, but yeah, and then I mean, you had to expect that he was going to pull a gun from that safe. I mean,
Yeah.
that
Totally.
it's
Yeah.
like, what else would he be pulling from there? So I was kind of like, well, where the fuck did you leave your key? It's like, Hank, because I totally forgot up until he recovers the key from the homeless guy. I forgot they took off everything like in a drunken stupor.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I thought that was good the way they brought that back, like how he sees the dried vomit on the door.
Yeah.
And that's when he remembers, like, oh shit, that's right, I took my shirt and pants off. And when that moment hits, you're sitting there thinking, you're like, what's kind of an odd place to disrobe yourself, like before getting into your apartment. Like, I get it,
Yeah.
you got puke on yourself, but
And also,
yeah.
if you're just blitzed out of your mind, you're not
Yeah, right.
like, oh, I gotta get these.
I
dirty
think if you
clothes
look
off.
like Austin Butler and you're drunk, you're like, I'm going to take my clothes off here and walk around.
Yeah,
No one's
that's
gonna
true. He can get away with it.
Yeah.
I took it as that he was. I don't know if this is what happens when you have one less kidney, but I took it as like he was overheating, like because it looked like he was sweating when he was doing like
Nah,
after
he was just
threw up.
hammered.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So we'll go with that. Well, that's the definitive answer, Josh.
There you go.
And so the last thing that I have, and then we'll go into kind of like a ranking, is I do think that the ending is kind of up for interpretation. I personally am not sure how to interpret it, so I am curious about what you guys think about when he goes and ultimately gets to like the paradise setting away from New York City. And he has his dream basically, but not his dream because he's not a player, but his mom's dream, I guess, or whatever, their collective dream of seeing their Giants at, I believe the World Series is what that was, or
It
maybe
was
the
a
playoffs.
tiebreaker game.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and then he cuts it off. Why do you think he cut it off? Like, because that's a very big like point, is that you see his reflection and he's turning it off. Why do you think he did that?
I think it's because like he doesn't need that part of himself anymore, or like, I mean, I don't know. That's just the way I interpreted it. Like it kind of, he's, yeah. I mean,
That was his moment of character growth.
Yes.
right.
Yeah, that he's changing. He's starting a new chapter in his life. So
Yeah, like Giants aren't everything, you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you guys expect, based off just the voice, that it was Laura Dern?
No.
No,
No.
that was
I
a cool moment.
And I'm okay with it because it is Laura Dern. Like otherwise, I don't know that you need to see the mother
open the
that's
money.
been like,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know that you necessarily need it, but I was like, the fuck, it's Laura Dern. Like,
Yeah.
hell yeah.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Life finds a way.
Yeah. I think it is. I wish we could have gotten. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't say I wish we could have gotten. I do think it's interesting that they don't elaborate a whole lot on the mother son dynamic, like their relationship or whatever, other than like she was his coach. They both are Giants fans. Like that's pretty much all you get with that, right? Like unless
I think it was
else.
that she was pushing her values onto him. So we don't get any kind of instance on who his dad was, if his dad was like maybe a player or I would think that it seems like she's very passionate about baseball and passionate about her son. Josh, you have something?
No, I was just saying a little bit passionate.
Oh, a little bit. My
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think that's ultimately it, is that I think she's just I think just the way that she connects with her son, maybe.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Yep.
Because that's all she calls him about, is about the game. She doesn't call him about really anything else. So about his life, about how he's feeling. So it's just I believe if the little voicemail we get when he's in the hospital and he comes home and he plays his messages, it's just her talking about the game and how she hopes he's okay because she wants to talk about the game.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
But so I'm not the biggest Aronofsky film fan, I'll be honest. The Requiem for a Dream, but to be fair, I've not seen his full filmography, and I know you three have seen a lot more than me. So me personally, I will put this definitely near the top of the list for me. But I do personally think that when I saw Requiem for a Dream, when I saw The Whale, I think those had more of a gut punch, but they were purposely supposed to be that. And this one, it was just more of a fun. Like it had some depression in it, but it's more just thriller, which is unlike anything else in his filmography. So I just kind of want to go through. We'll just talk about his filmography, and I just want to know. Let's start with Kyle. I want to know: would you rather? And this one's an easy. I know you enough that I know your answer about this. Would you rather watch this again or watch Mother?
Mother. I love that movie so much.
And then would you rather watch Mother or Noah?
Mother.
Okay. And then Mother or Black Swan?
Black Swan.
Black Swan or The Wrestler?
The Wrestler.
Wrestler or Requiem for a Dream?
Oh, The Wrestler. Requiem for a Dream is great, but it wrecks you. Like you don't need to see it after you've seen it once.
It is a strong movie.
Yeah.
The Wrestler or The Fountain?
The Wrestler.
And the last one, The Wrestler or Pi?
The Wrestler.
All right. So that's your favorite of his films. That's what I'm gathering.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites. I mean, The Wrestler, Black Swan, and Mother. But yeah, sorry, I'll let you do your thing. Keep going.
So if you had to delete his entire filmography and you got to keep one, that's the one that you would keep.
I hate these questions, but yeah. Yeah.
All right. So I'm just curious. So all right. So I'm going to just ask the same thing. Sorry for repetition to Josh.
I actually only really remember Black Swan and Requiem. I've seen The Fountain. I've seen
So let's
Pi,
just stick
I've
with the
seen
ones you
Noah.
remember then.
Yeah.
So as far as you just remember the most of Black Swan and Requiem, correct?
Yeah.
That's what you said. So would you rather watch Caught Stealing or Black Swan?
Probably Black Swan, but I've seen it 5 times. Maybe this one grows.
And out of curiosity, what pulls you back into watching Black Swan? Because personally, I've seen Black Swan once and I appreciated it, but it's not a film that I could see myself really diving back into. So why is that a rewatchable film for you since you've watched it so many times?
I mean, I'm kind of a Portman fan. I feel like that's her best role. The movie's really hypnotic and moody, stylish. The music is really cool. The pacing is really cool. I don't know. That one kind of sucks me in. I agree with what Kyle said that Requiem, I think, is brilliant, but you need to see it once and then you go, okay, cool. I'm not going to do heroin. Let's move on. Never going to do it now. But Black Swan, I think, is rewatchable. Not that I can, have a party or a date night. Hey guys, let's come over and watch Black Swan tonight.
Well, Josh, do you want to hear a date night story?
Do it.
From me. So Requiem for a Dream.
Let me guess, you don't have any heroin?
Early on in the relationship with my wife at the time, we weren't even really dating. This was, I think, like our second date. And I was going out with friends. This was the movie we were going to see. And I think we called up or bumped into each other and said, hey, I'm going to this Darren Aronofsky movie. You want to come with me? And she said, sure. And that was the movie. And when the movie got done, we looked at each other and said, well, that was a movie.
You guys were trauma bonded after that. You had no choice.
And we have been together,
there you go.
Since,
So just because I did skip over this question before I get to you, Joe, Kyle, why is The Wrestler your go-to film of his?
I think it was when that came out, like that was Mickey, like that was like, holy shit, Mickey Rourke is back. Like look at this guy. Like, I mean, he's so good.
And then he did nothing with that.
Right. Which unfortunately happens, but Mickey Rourke has such a good filmography, like especially in the 80s. But anyways, like I'm a sucker for like a character driven movie, especially one where like, you're dealing with some like darker stuff and whatnot. So like Black Swan and The Wrestler, it's like kind of the same thing, like they're character studies. And so that's what draws me to that for sure. It's also just interesting, like learning and seeing like the behind the scenes, like with the wrestling stuff, like that's pretty interesting too.
And you go behind the scenes at the Acme Deli counter.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, it was interesting seeing Mickey Rourke wear a hairnet in that scene.
Do you think that Mickey Rourke had a better performance in The Wrestler or Iron Man 2?
Oh, are you serious? That's like insulting, dude.
I'm not serious. I've not seen The Wrestler. I've still not seen The Wrestler, but
it's better than Iron Man 2.
Iron Man 2, like it's I hate Iron Man 2.
The worst Marvel movie to me.
So,
yeah, it's bad.
All right, Joe.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and we'll just jump ahead real quick since we brought it up. Is Requiem for a Dream your pick for the best Aronofsky film?
No.
Okay.
But it's highly enjoyable and it's up there.
but it has a very vivid memory for you and your wife, and it's cool that you saw that film, and you guys ended up still sticking together. So,
Requiem for a Dream, yeah.
it's the movie that shows you that when people complain about Jared Leto, you're like, this shows that he's a great performer. He's a great actor.
And My So-Called Life.
I haven't seen that one, so but
I was the right age.
Okay, but yeah. That and then same with Marlon Wayans. Like, I mean, he's just fantastic in that film. And it's unfortunate that he hasn't done more, because it's clear that he does have that strength and in his acting abilities, and and then he just went and did parody films. He did Air, which he had a very small role in, and I think he was good in Air. But yeah, it's
isn't he doing that Him movie that's coming
out?
He
is, yeah. And
that looks really good.
I'm hopeful that they'll bring back it looks like he's playing it straight. It looks like he is not putting any comedic anything into it, which is good. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to his performance there. But all right, Joe.
Yeah.
Caught Stealing or The Whale? Which one would you watch?
I haven't seen The Whale. That's the only Aronofsky movie that is not.
You haven't got time to yet.
So yeah, I gotta push that out.
All right, Caught Stealing or Mother?
I'm gonna say Caught Stealing, just because it is a more direct narrative.
Okay. All right, and hopefully this is an easy one, but Caught Stealing or Noah?
Caught Stealing.
Okay. Okay, and then Caught Stealing or Black Swan?
They're probably neck and neck. Maybe I'll put Black Swan above.
Okay, and then Black Swan or The Wrestler?
The Wrestler.
Okay, and then The Wrestler or The Fountain?
Wrestler.
And Wrestler or Pi?
They're both just perfect movies for me.
Yeah.
Maybe The Wrestler just edges out Pi slightly more because, again, of that narrative cohesiveness, where Pi is really lofty and it's really all over the place, but it's such an incredible visual treat. So yeah, maybe The Wrestler would be number one.
So for me personally, because I've seen Caught Stealing, The Whale, Mother, Noah, Black Swan, and Requiem for a Dream. I've not seen The Wrestler or The Fountain or Pi. So I think personally, I think that just from a rewatchability standpoint, I see myself rewatching this quite more than any of his filmography. But as far as staying power, I've still thought about it too, today. And it also helps that, you meet the man that is the lead in the film, and he's so fantastic in the film, and that's Brendan Fraser as the whale. And I think that performance is just fantastic. And you just see just how much pain he's going through. And it's a play. I mean, it takes place all in one location. It's extremely well done. It's incredibly disheartening. But I think you just feel so bad for that main character. And I think that's the whole film. It's just building up to how he's basically going to die, and he's going to die because of his weight issue, and that he basically can't help it because he eats because he is depressed, basically, and he's depressed because he eats. And essentially the ending is very hopeful of him possibly finding a way out. And that's the thing, is that people aren't sure how to depict the ending. But I personally thought, the ending's the ending was a huge thing when it came out, that people did not like the ending because it was too open for interpretation. So
we see that's another one of Aronofsky's themes is control. And I think that he does bring this theme into Caught Stealing. But The Wrestler and definitely Black Swan, are these overpowering themes of control, of losing control, of trying to regain control. So yeah, it seems like The Whale slides right back into that wheelhouse for him.
The Whale's also his second film that's, aside from Requiem, that that is like no rewatchability.
Mm.
It's like you watch it once, you're like, you can appreciate what you can appreciate in it, and you're like, I'm glad I've seen it, and now I don't have to watch it again.
Well, similar to obviously Brendan's having a slow bit of comeback, but definitely similar to Mickey Rourke, as you said, it was definitely The Whale was kind of like his like comeback, was Brendan Fraser's kind of like comeback. So hopefully he'll still be able to build off the momentum of his Oscar win and, you know, and continue. And speaking of The Whale, and it's like, you know, he's now worked with two people that were nominated in the same year for Best Actor. So, but all right. So last thing, and then we will close this episode out is, do you think whether you would recommend, do you recommend this film as a starter for people for Aronofsky, or do you think they should dive into his more deep and profound work, like what you guys have said is your favorites? I personally think that this is a good starting point. I don't think it really says who the director is. I do think that it does have grit behind it and it has like little bits, but I think it's a good way to kind of like just be like, this has hints of who this filmmaker is. But then again, I mean, maybe you want to jump into the deep end and just go Requiem for a Dream. So what do you guys think? Let's go down the line and then we'll close it out. Kyle, you first.
Yeah, I mean, I think, man, I don't know. This is totally not a movie that's gonna, it's like you said, like it's not gonna really show or tell you who the director is. I mean, it's like I said in the opening, like it's almost surprising that Aronofsky directed this. So I wouldn't say it's necessarily a good movie to start with if you really want to see what he's about, or you know what his movies typically are, but it's not a bad movie to start off with, like if you're not necessarily trying to do that. I think if you want a starter movie to show who Aronofsky is, I think a safe one to start with would be Black Swan, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Kyle, would you stay with your rating of a half?
You know, honestly, no. I think I'll move to full just after talking about it with you guys. I think it is I think it is a solid crime caper film. I think that if I wouldn't feel comfortable sticking with the half, because even though it's not what I expect or know like Aronofsky to be, like I already said, like I appreciate like trying to do different things, and looking at it from the point of like just a solid crime caper film, kind of in and out thing, you could do far worse. So
Like Meanie.
well, yeah, that's so ironically, yeah, like last week's movie for the podcast was Eeny Meeny, which I did watch. I wasn't on the podcast for because I didn't watch it in time, but it's ironic how like this week's movie is this, and it's kind of like the same thing. So this is definitely better than that. So yeah,
this is miles ahead.
for sure.
But I
honestly,
think Samara Weaving's really, when you compare, it's this film has so much going for it compared to Eeny Meeny.
Yeah.
But
I agree. I think that I do think that they went with the right move though, and putting Eeny Meeny out on like Hulu, like streaming. I don't know what they were thinking putting this in theaters, like expecting it to do anything. Like I'm okay with it because I'll always go for a theatrical experience, don't get me wrong, but I think far more people were likely to watch this if they had done some sort of streaming instead.
You're right, this might have killed on Netflix.
And
what
Netflix does he said it would kill on Netflix.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And Netflix does have the partnership with Sony, which has proven to be very lucrative for them with K-pop Demon Hunters, because that Sony deal,
which is solid. That's a good time.
So, all right. So let's go with you, Josh. Would you stick with your full rating? And And would you say that this is a good starter film for someone for Aronofsky?
Yeah,
Would you
it's
go
like
into something?
it's like the catchy pop song in his catalog, right?
Mm.
Like, pretty good entry
That's
point.
good.
If you want something that's more universal, if you want something that's more representative, maybe Black Swan.
Mhm.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
And Joe, would you stick with your full rating? And do you think this is a good starting point?
Absolutely, with the rating. I think this is an enjoyable movie. And because of that, yeah, I think for a general audience, yes, this would be a good entry point. But again, just like Kyle and Josh said, if you want to get more of the complete Aronofsky picture, I think Black Swan or The Wrestler would be a better entry point for Aronofsky. But this is an enjoyable movie to watch.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for listening to the Cinefied Podcast. You can find more of our episodes as well as all of our written reviews on cinefied.com, including our review of Caught Stealing by Joe. You can follow us on Letterboxd. We've been trying to update that more recently, as well as all major social media platforms to stay up to date with our reviews. Now, pop some popcorn, grab a drink, and remember to stay Cinefied. Go Giants!
Go Giants!
Go Giants!
Kyle, play along.
Go Giants.
Yeah.